Okay, good evening, everybody. I hope people are slowly joining in. Good evening, or good afternoon for those in Africa. Okay, let's wait for a minute or two as people are still joining in. Great. Good afternoon. Great. Good afternoon once again. Okay, so probably we'll start. We are like 2 minutes into the scheduled time. Maybe I should start. Okay, great. So welcome back, everybody, to a webinar on what is cybersecurity that looks like in the year 2026. Okay. I hope you guys are all geared up to know how the stats are and how the point of view is there for the year 2026 when it comes to cybersecurity. So I welcome you all for this particular webinar where you have shown interest to get to know about the trend that is going to happen in 2026. But before that, I would like to start with what we do at Regenesis. Okay? So in Regenesis, we follow a model called as the ILMM, the Integrated Leadership and Management Model. So via this model, we aim to equip each and every individual who joins us with a focus on skilling themselves. So the skill increase could be with any part. It could be with spirituality, it could be with emotional understanding, it could be with your intelligence, and it could be also with your personality development, which is PQ, personality quotient. So we try to mold you, we try to upskill you in these various quotient levels. And what we feel is you will be able to then go and contribute to the external world. Like you can go and make an effect on the real world. So while we are following this particular model, we have identified 6 attributes that our students, once they join our courses and start doing the activities and so on, they develop these 6 primary attributes as their personality behavioral change. So, take for example, thinking differently. Let's say you are all interested to join cybersecurity courses and you enroll, and slowly, once you start applying the knowledge of cybersecurity, whatever you are thinking now, you will not think the same after finishing the course, right? Because your knowledge level is now higher, and now the way you think about it is different, right? So everybody is that same. So once you gain limited knowledge or once you upskill yourself, then you go ahead and start making decisions in a different manner, right? So likewise, we have found these six attributes to be a part of a student once they start becoming a part of the courses. So what is the agenda for today? Here is the agenda for today. I will give you a brief introduction, and then we will discuss what are some key threats and how, as of now, the defenses are built up for the year 2026. And we will also see some common terms which are repeatedly getting used when it comes to your cybersecurity, which is network security, risk management, ethical hacking, and so on. And I will also let you know what are some top cybersecurity roles for the year 2026 and what employers look in you when it comes to the year 2026. And then we will also have a Q&A session where you can drop your questions in the chat box, and I will be happy to answer you that. Great. So let's start off with a quick poll. So you can just drop it in the chat box. How many of you have ever been a victim of a cyber attack? So it could be a WhatsApp hack, or it could be a Facebook message where you got, hey, press this button or click this link to reset your password, something. Facebook account hacking, Instagram account hacking, or your WhatsApp account hack. Or you could have received a fake email that looked like the email came from an actual bank. So anything, you can just drop it in the chat box. Let me see how many of you have ever been a victim, or maybe you might have known your friends who had come across such a attack type or something. Okay, Paul says Instagram click to reset password. Okay, that's a common one. Mafata says I have a WhatsApp. Okay, someone tried to hack your WhatsApp. Okay, let's see. Sitawe says Facebook. Glenn says Facebook. Mangani says email hacks. Okay. So you received email with fake links, probably. Alyssa says Instagram. Great. WhatsApp email scam. Robertson. Okay. Let's get some more inputs. Let's see. Lucas says my WhatsApp account was hacked. Oh, really? Cello says my friends via WhatsApp. Okay. Vivan says phishing emails every other day. Voice calls. That's an interesting one, voice calls. Because today we'll be discussing about that also. Ronga says email phishing. Okay, great. Thank you for all the inputs. So, what we can primarily try to correlate or understand is people have been getting attacked left and right via their social media accounts or via their emails or via their any personal account related stuff that they might be holding across, right? So primarily, if you see a large number of people are being attacked over their social media, be it WhatsApp, be it Facebook, be it Instagram, be it Snapchat, anything, right? And some portion of the people, we have been repeatedly getting fake emails and stuff, right? So nobody can say, no, I have never heard about a cyber attack. Everybody at some point of time, they might have come across the word, they might have experienced it, or they might know at least somebody who might have been a part of those attacks. Right. So, putting that across, let's see how these kind of attacks or threats are looming or increasing in the year 2026 and what has changed in the way how they come and attack you. Okay, so that's what we are going to see for the next 10 to 15 minutes. So, number one, is key threats is AI powered phishing. So the first threat that we are looking across for the year 2026 is AI powered phishing. So nowadays, everything is AI now. AI, AI, AI. Everything is AI. Everywhere you go, you have ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude, right? Or you have Copilot. Likewise, you have a lot of these AI tools that is coming across your products, coming across your softwares that sell or that pre-sell them, saying that, hey, you need AI to do this. Of course, we don't need, but still they go ahead and push it. So what is an AI powered phishing? Typically, what happens in a phishing? So, those who do not know what the term phishing means, phishing is the concept where somebody gets or receives a fake email. He receives a normal email, but it contains the link to a fake website. It could be a fake Facebook website, it could be a fake YouTube, it could be a fake Twitter account website, it could be anything. So you think that, okay, you have received it from the authorized company or the organization, and you try to click on it, and it asks you to maybe update your profile, update your password. So you go ahead and try to update it. And at the end of the day, your password gets captured because that website was actually from a fake person. So this is what typically happens in phishing. Okay. So the idea, the name phishing came from the term fishing. So how do people go and fish? So they have a fishing net, and then they, make a small bait. So they have a small fish or maybe a small insect or an earthworm, and then they drop it into the water. And the big fish now gets, which is, just swimming across inside the water, tries to see that, okay, there is an insect, I can eat it. And then it comes and gets caught itself. So the same thing. Somebody is baiting you to make you click on it and go ahead and enter the details, thereby collecting your details. Now, how this is getting transformed with AI. So with AI, thousands and thousands of emails, real emails, could be given as input to these AI. And this AI can clearly give you a template of how these real emails from Facebook look like, or maybe from Twitter look like. Okay. And you can use AI like any of the tools like ChatGPT and so on to help you create an email template with such a banner, logo, image, and so on, so that you can say, hey, I wanted to test it for developing a website and communicating with Facebook. So AI will give you the generated template, which you can just copy and paste, and you can bulk send to people. And there will be very, 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 very minute differences that you cannot see it with your real eyes. So you have to enter into the code level. You have to status match with the code level to easily understand whether this email is a fake one or not. It's not only just changing the URL or hiding the URL with a hyperlink and so on. No. So AI powered phishing is that. So customizing according to a person. So if I know about you, and even if I get one email out of your inbox, maybe as a screenshot or anything, I can use it. I can customize that email according to you or according to any brand, and then I can deliver it to you so that the chances of you getting affected or falling victim to such a customized email becomes easier, much easier now. That is the power of AI that we have today, and that is what being used for sending out these phishing emails also. So that one, my friends, is what you call it as AI powered phishing. And the next key threat is deep fake social engineering. So we need to split the words again to help you understand what these terms actually mean. Deep fake, social engineering. What is deepfake? Deepfake, you might have heard about it. The term deepfake says that a person, a person's face can be taken out and it can be used in another person's body and they can merge. So there has been, or there was a video where I think Donald Trump was talking about something like waiving of the taxes for the whole world, for the imports and export duties, and so on. Later on, it was found that it was not a real Donald Trump, it was a deep fake video. Fake video, deep fake. You can correlate in that way. So something fake is getting created, but it's created in such a deep manner that you can't really tell whether it's true or false, right? So that's deep fake. And then you have social engineering. Now, what is social engineering? So engineering means to produce, to construct, to create, right? What is social? Social, the word social stands for to be friendly. Right? To be social enough is to open up. So you try to be friendly with someone and you engineer that friendship, right? So you create that small loophole or a possible way so that you go and connect with somebody. Primarily, you create that connection. It doesn't happen like as a real friendship. You try to create that connection with the motive of faking them or with the motive of gaining their trust. And out of that trust, you get to do something bad. Maybe you can use their mobiles and you get to see their pictures and photographs or any files that they have or any financial constructs that they have in their mobile phone. We do not know, right? So your primary aim is to get into their friendship zone. So to gain their trust so that you can use that trust to do something out of it, to gain something out of it. Okay? And social engineering and deepfake. Now you gain the trust so that nobody believes that you are the person who did it, but you faked them. You faked their identity, right? By gaining their trust out of them. So that is deepfake social engineering. You might have seen in movies like Mission Impossible, where Tom Cruise tries to get a face mask with the 3D printer. He, I think it was in Kremlin, in some movie where he enters, there used to be a scanner that scans his whole body, the kind of way he's walking, the biometrics and everything. So he was faking it in a very deep manner, right? Yes, obviously he did not get friends with the person, but yeah, he got that. He deep faked it. But if you're gaining their trust and if you're able to deep fake it, then that's a different story. That is what I was just showing you about. Then comes the third one, ransomware as a service. So gone are the days where you have to be a brainiac or you have to be very intelligent to go and create your own virus. Gone are those days. Now what happens if you are targeting somebody and if you feel that, okay, I really need to destroy his career or I really need to target this company, I need to send a virus. What do? I don't know how to write a virus. That is where the places which is called as dark web, where illegal stuffs happen in the internet. People go there and try to get viruses as a service. You pay somebody, you tell them that, hey, this is what I'm requiring. I want you to build something like this and give it to me. So those hackers or attackers who do illegal stuff in the dark web, they create those viruses for you and then they deliver it to you. So you pay them and you get the product back in return. Then you will be given user guides on how to use the virus or how to transport the virus, how to share the virus with somebody. So these things happen. So people have started selling virus as a code, as a service for money, obviously. That is ransomware as a service. So these kind of services increase the probability of somebody getting attacked. So previously, if I had to target a company, maybe nobody was there to help me. I had to think, I had to write a virus, and then I had to make sure how to communicate the virus to the network. But those days are gone. Nowadays, you can easily go to the dark web market, get paid, and get the virus back in return. So that is ransomware as a service. Fourth point, or the fourth increasing trend that we see in 2026 is IoT vulnerabilities. Now, what are IoT? Okay, IoT stands for Internet of Things. So, what do I say when I say Internet of Things? You have things, products, which are connected via the internet of things. So nowadays we have your smart TVs, your washing machine, your fridge, your air conditioner, everything they get sold with the name or with the addition of AI symbols or AI labels. But actually in reality what happens, they might have added something a little automatic, an automatic factor might have been added, but then they go and advertise them as AI, intelligent system, and so on. No. So automatic adjustment of a temperature for a room has been there with air conditioners even 5 years back or 10 years back. But because of this trend in AI, they find a way to go ahead and market and they sell off these products in the name of AI, intelligent systems. Right. Temperature control has been there for a long time. It's not new for air conditioning devices. Even in our cars, vehicles, we have automatic temperature control. So does it mean the car has AI, intelligent systems? No, right. It's just a function, sensors. So these devices, which go and connect to the internet, they have a software in their device, which helps them go and communicate to the internet. Without software, no possibility. So your smart TVs, your smart refrigerators, your smart air conditioners, or your smart dishwasher or washing machine, whatever may it be. So they all have an underlying software, which gets attached to the device at the time of production. But what happens after they are delivered to the customers? Do they get updated? No. So they also function based upon a software inside. But these softwares do not get updated. And because they do not get updated, they are vulnerable. And as they are vulnerable, the chances of getting attacked or the chances of getting hacked increases. So once they hack such a smart device at your home, then these devices are connected to your router. So they get to connect with your home network. And if all the devices are vulnerable, like most of your devices, then it's easy for them to hack your network. So getting smart devices or IoT devices is fine. But if those manufacturers are not going to release any updates, then it is going to be a open gate where you are inviting hackers and attackers to come and attack you. Right? And this is also improving because day by day in the year 25 and 26, we see that the domain of AI is right into our own homes. And last but not the least, supply chain attacks. Now, what do you mean by a supply chain? So again, splitting the words, supply chain and attacks. So supply chain is the process where you have the initial vendor till the final product maker. So the long chain process of procuring the raw material vendor till the final end product. So anybody, any vendor who is linked through the whole process is what you call as the supply chain. So maybe I am Apple. So my end product is an iPhone. But to get the source materials, I need aluminum, I need titanium, I need copper, I need semiconductors, and so on. All of these will be procured from some raw material producer. So he's my vendor. Then what happens? Transport, the logistics, and maybe the pre-processing place and the chip manufacturer. Right? So I have a lot of people in the middle. Then the marketer, right? Maybe Apple themselves could be marketing, or I might have given this to someone else. So the marketing people and then the delivery people. So Apple doesn't themselves go and deliver. So instead, they go and use somebody as a third party to go and do the delivery. Right? So anybody who is involved in this long chain of process is what you call it as a supply chain. And if I cannot directly attack Apple, let's say there is a hacker who would like to attack Apple, but he cannot directly attack Apple because Apple's defense is so strong. Then what he does, or what he or she does, or the group does, is they try to go and find weakness in any of the supply chain vendors. If they find that such a vulnerability exists in the supply chain vendors, then they will target them, attack them, because even they will have some control or some software connect with the main Apple system, right? So it's not only that they supply and it's gone. They will have some service, some software cooperation as part of their partnership with Apple, and that is how it gets connected. Okay? So these are some of the main important key threats that are arising for the year 2026. There are also a lot of niche threats that are on the rise in 2026. But yeah, these are the primary ones. Now, let's see how we are defending ourselves. Okay? So that is also one of the main parts where we need to understand how we are defending ourselves. So just a quick minute. Okay. So you saw in the previous slide that an important threat that is alarmingly increasing was AI powered phishing. Similarly, you also have the defense part of it, where AI is also driving the threat detection technologies or the threat detection methodologies. So, what do you mean by AI driven threat detection? See, if I wanted to monitor, okay, let's say I want to monitor if who is a thief and who is not a thief, what should I do? I should keep monitoring people, right? And I keep on watching the people to observe what they do, what they do not do, whether this person is doing right and whether this person is doing wrong. Then I classify them, right? So previously, humans were sitting in front of computers to analyze what is right and what is wrong. But nowadays, the initial analysis phase has been taken over by AI. So you give the characteristics to AI and you tell them, hey, if such characteristics are there, then you can classify them as bad. And you can classify the others as good or normal. So AI does the job of classification, and based upon the classification or understanding or learning, then they go ahead and try to find real time victims or real time threats. So the first step is to go and learn, and the second step is to go and apply the learning. So you tell algorithms or you use algorithms to get them to learn, and once they learn, you ask them to apply. Okay. So famous companies like CrowdStrike, Darktrace, these are two famous companies which have included the AI-driven threat detection process as part of their products, software products. Okay. So and that is the first one, AI usability with respect to the defense part of detection. Then comes the concept of zero trust architecture. So, what does zero trust architecture means? So, from the name, you can see zero trust and an architecture. So, what is zero trust? Zero trust means no, don't trust anybody, plainly. I don't want to trust you. Okay, that is what you call it as zero trust, right? If you go to a friend and if you ask for money, if the friend trusts you, he will lend you money. If the friend doesn't trust you, he'll be like, no, hey, no, I'm feeling headache today, or I'm having commitments already, so I will not be able to help you out today. So zero trust means nobody is trusting you. So what is the zero trust architecture? Simple. So previously, what happened? All the people or the employees were going to one central office, like a primary organization or corporation, where they go, sit, and then they work. So there used to be tens and tens of floors, big buildings, multiple computers. They sit, go, log in, and they will work on a computer. They will have all the data within that building, right? But now what happens? The concept of branching came up. So a company which is having its headquarters in one city, no longer require all the employees to come to that one particular city. Instead, what they can do, they can build multiple small branches across multiple cities and multiple towns, and then they can employ their employees there itself. Take the example of banks. What banks do? Banks do the same. So their primary office would be somewhere, and then they have small branches in each of the towns, cities, right? So how do they communicate then? Okay, so that is where this architecture comes into picture. So let's say I work in a small branch. I go to the branch. I go log in with the username and password. I can enter into the bank interface. Now, if I want to fetch some data, my branch and my head office will both be connected. They will be connected via the internet. Maybe they will be connected via a VPN, right? So a connection gets established. And after that connection gets established, again, I will be asked to enter another password to access the data in the server, in the main branch. So one password is required for me to access my home branch, and another password is required for me to go and access the main server branch. And inside the server also, if I need to do something else, maybe I will be asked for a third password. So based upon the level of access, your passwords or the amount of complexities also increases. தமிழ்ல இந்த கதவை அடைச்சுக்கிறியா? Okay. So that is what you call the zero trust architecture. It's not just one password, one place anymore. You can't use the same single password and then say, hey, great, I am logged in. I will be able to access everything. No, right? So you require multiple levels and multiple complexities to prove that you are the real person so that it avoids any hacker from trying to gain any access to your resources. Take the simple example where there is a hacker who entered into the system or he hacked your system. He knows your password, he hacked your system. So now he wants to connect to the server. Now, when he goes and makes a connection to the server will again ask a different password. The hacker doesn't know the different password. So his hacking limited, his ability to hack is only limited to the branch office computer. He cannot go and connect to the cloud service of the main home branch, right? The main server branch. So that is what you call it as zero trust architecture. And all the big companies, they have started employing the concept of zero trust architecture. Okay? And the third point, how we are defending ourselves is real-time behavioral analysis. So I told you in the beginning that AI has been replacing small part of humans where that initial analysis, which is very exhaustive, is being done by AI now. Now, after the first step, the second step goes into real-time detection, where many big companies like Palo Alto, Cisco, even Fortinet. So these companies, they have started to implement what you call it as real-time behavioral analysis, in which after the first initial analysis phase, these AIs are made into agents. Agents are nothing but you give the rules to them. Based upon the rules, they will go and do some actions. That is what you call it as AI agents or agentic agents. So these agents go or they get deployed on real-time network, like how a firewall reads real-time data. Likewise, these AI agents read the real-time data. And by reading them, they get to apply that and they remove the second line of human need. So people might be wondering, Professor, so is it like AI is replacing humans? No. So they get deployed for real-time behavioral analysis. Once they find that, hey, this is suspicious, they don't mark it as suspicious and they do not disconnect the connection. Instead, they raise the request to a human, where the human sees and based upon the knowledge of the human, they take a final action. Humans will obviously have more experience. They will understand, okay, this one is an exception. I know because they have informed me. So a human will still be needed to take the final step of action, and the AI is just there for a real time analysis. So many companies, like what I said, Fortinet, Cisco, Palo Alto, all of them are presently moving on to this real time behavioral analysis methodology. They have implemented, that's there. I'm not saying they have not implemented, they have already implemented and they are putting it into use. Fourth point, cloud native security. So this is also important. So remember the home branch and the main branch example. How do you connect the home branch to the main branch? Cloud, internet, right? So nowadays, there is not even a main building where every data is kept, right? So instead, what happens? All the company have moved their data to the cloud, right? So cloud, why? Because it's cheap, cost effective. So they have moved their operations to the cloud. So even the home branch people or the main branch people will be connecting to the cloud instead of connecting to a server from another city and then the server gets to reply them. The server is now moved to the cloud. So this is also a trend. So many companies, or nearly like more than 70% of the companies, have moved towards the cloud, where they're running their operations, day-to-day operations via the cloud. Okay? If you want anything, pull it from the cloud. If you want to connect to the printer is there in the cloud. Connect to it, print it, it will come to your place. Right? So cloud specific security. Previously, the security was only focusing on the network within a building. Now the focus is beyond buildings. The focus is cloud specific. Okay, I have employees who need to connect to the cloud. How much protection can I give? Okay, this much protection can I give? Okay, how about multiple passwords? How about multiple levels? So likewise, you think about what are the components required for accessing cloud, and basis on that, you decide the security posture. That is cloud native security. Last but not the least, resilience planning. Now, what is resilience planning? Resilience planning is all about backup plan. So, are you prepared for the worst? And can you handle the worst situation that is going to come across you? Do you have the backup plans for it? That's what you call it as cyber resilience plan. Right. So these are some of the concepts that are already existing, right? Behind the firewall, what are the other small advancements that has been existing, which also help us defend the threats, right? When you take the broader topic of network security, when I say network security, it means filtering your network, protecting your network, and so on. And for that, we use firewalls, intrusion detection systems, intrusion prevention systems, VPNs, right? Wireless security, Wi-Fi security is what I mean there. So these concepts primarily focus on the network security. So still, you require the basic of network security because at the end, you all use laptops or computers to go and connect. So yes, you still require network security concepts. Then all the companies will definitely have what you call this risk management. So risk management is a concept where you try to identify what risks are there for my company, right? So these are the probable risks for my company, and I have identified them, I have analyzed them, so I have done the assessments. So how can I overcome these risks? Okay, that is risk management. And compliance says whether I am following the industry standard. Okay, if there is a governing body that says, hey, if you are a bank, you need to follow these parameters, or you need to have these certifications. Am I eligible for those rules? Am I following those rules? Checking on that is compliance. Business continuity talks about the same one, backup plans. In case of disasters, do you have the proper backup plan to go ahead? So that's one. And then ethical hacking. Ethical hacking also has been there for a long time. You hire people who are good hackers, white hat hackers, and then you ask them to scan your network, check your systems, and you tell them, or in the end, they themselves reveal what is wrong in your network or what is wrong in your infrastructure. Based upon their report, based upon their feedback, you can go and correct yourself. So apart from the various techniques that we have seen so far, like previously, we are also using the traditional security measures that I have shown here, which still hold true to its value. Great. Now, let's try to understand what are some top cybersecurity rules which are important or which are getting increased day by day. So, the number one rule, take any cybersecurity job. If you're going to plan to enter into cybersecurity, most of the people will end up as security analyst. They will only end up as security analyst. So they call it as SOC analyst or SOC L1 analyst and so on. L1, L2, L3, these are levels. Okay, L1 is the basic level, L2 is the mid senior, and L3 is the senior, and so on. Some companies might even have L5. So some companies only have till L3. So security analyst is your primary job, the very first job that you will be ending up doing in the domain of cybersecurity. So what is the role of that particular job? What does the job look like in that particular job? Right? So I sit in front of computers and I monitor and analyze the threats. So I see packets flowing network and I try to see the log files. I analyze the log files and I check whether there has been any cases of any threats or any malicious involvement in all those data exchange. So my job is primarily to sit, analyze the data, the flow of packets, the log files, and if at all I find something suspicious, then I have to respond to it. How do I respond? I mark it and then I let my senior know. My senior levels will know their will take it to the next level. And whoever is on the top pyramid, they get to take a action. Right? So this is not active responding to threat. This is more like a passive response to the threat. And the second role that you will come across would be a security consultant. So security consultants are also on the rise. Nowadays, companies, they don't hire cybersecurity professionals as full time. Instead, what they do, whenever there's a need to do some risk assessment, to do some policy check and so on, they go and hire these people who have done certifications based on consultants, like security consultants, and they give them a one-time payment which is good, more than what a regular employee will get. But they only get to work for the company for a limited time, like till they finish their work. So consulting work, right? So you're not bound by working at a single company. You can work simultaneously with multiple companies like a freelancer. So your job is to mainly go analyze their systems, analyze their computer, help them create policies which might close the gaps. So that is security consultant. Then the third one is security administrator. So the security administrator, like for this, the certification required is what you call it a CISA, CYSA, CISA. So these administrators, they are always stressed to the core. So they have to take immediate decisions. They have to take real-time decisions. They are the decision makers when it comes to security for any company. So if something bad is going to happen, the security administrator, his head will start rolling. So he will get a lot of pressure from the executive directors, from the board of members. Hey, why is this happening? You are hired to look after these kind of issues, but these kind of issues are still coming back, right? So what is the job of you getting paid with such an amount and giving the responsibility of checking the security, right? And the CISA or the security administrator will be confused. So he's the person who manages most of the infrastructure rules, like the security policies, not essentially the policies, but primarily the rules and all the tools that he might go and use. Finally, threat hunters are also being employed highly. They were highly seeked out in the year 2025. And I hope in 2026 also the same trend continues. The threat hunters are specific to certain intrusions only. They are there to find specific, or they are there to do a specific job. So their job is to find only with some specialty vulnerabilities. So for example, I might be good in playing football. You might be good in playing a volleyball, right? So if something related to football or doubt comes up with respect to football, who will they contact? They will contact me. They will not contact you because you are only good with volleyball, right? So threat hunters are like that. So these threat hunters are specific to certain identification. So one might be good in identifying phishing emails. One might be good in identifying some bounties, some bugs, right? So one might be very good in penetration testing. Likewise, threat hunters are a very niche kind of cyber helpers who go and help you find specific kind of intrusions. Okay? And they keep on searching for that proactively. You might have seen in movies where police, they go and seek help from hackers to find a specific scenario. Only for that specific scenario, these hackers might have been required. So they are threat hunters, like proactively finding only a niche product or a niche scenario and so on. Okay. Now let's discuss what employers look out for when it comes to the year 2026. See, if I am a HR or if I am a manager, what would I likely have in my recruit? If I'm going to recruit you guys, one of you guys, how might I go and recruit? So I see these characteristics should be there primarily in your resume. So cloud security. So nowadays, not only network security will help you land a job, you need to also know about cloud. What is cloud? How cloud functions? What are the primary, or who are the primary players when it comes to cloud? Right? And do they have any courses? Do they offer any free courses? Can I learn it? Can I equip myself on the structure behind cloud and how these cloud systems communicate? Right? So that is the knowledge of cloud security that is required. AWS means Amazon Web Services. Azure means Microsoft's version of cloud. Google Cloud is there, right? So these three are the primary players when it comes to cloud. Amazon, Microsoft, and Google. So yes, you should have some knowledge about cloud and its security architecture. Second one would be knowledge of AI and ML in security. So all the domains nowadays have started using AI or machine learning within their domain. So as a security person, you can't say, no, I'm not going to use AI or ML in my systems or for my tools. Instead, I'll hard work. No, instead of hard work, you should do smart work. And if AI can help you do a work within some point or within some minutes, why don't you go and choose AI to do it? So to do that, you should know how to, or what is AI, how AI is used, what are the ML algorithms, how can they be used, what is agentic AI, all of it. So if you don't have that knowledge of AI and ML in security, then you will be pushed back. And of course, the third main point, soft skills, which is necessary for all the job markets. You have to communicate effectively. You need to have that curiosity to learn, right? You need to put forth yourself in a proper manner. All these are essential soft skills, which is always required for any job. Then comes the most important part. Not only learning, you need to also apply your learning, real world experience, labs. So you need to go ahead and register in websites where you can attend the labs. Labs means a virtual environment like created for a particular scenario. You enter into that scenario, you try to solve that scenario. That is what you call it as labs. Okay, it's like a puzzle, like a cybersecurity puzzle, where you need to find them or you need to finish that particular scenario. Okay? So labs, CTFs are also the same. Capture the flags, where you are given a hint and you start your treasure hunt. And at the end, who wins it or who finds the treasure first or who finds the final answer first is the primary winner. And others, how much they have approached, based upon their approach and everything, they will know like what is their leaderboard. So CPFs are like a kind of game where you play the game to try to capture the enemy's flag and become the winner, something like that. CPFs. Then internships, yes. If you can find an internship where you can work for 1 month or 3 months or 6 months, which will help you gain knowledge on real-time systems, then that is very, very valuable. So companies will know, oh, fine, he has already worked in a real-time environment. He has worked for a company. He has done so and so. So it's easy. I don't have to teach him everything. So if he comes and joins our company, we don't have to teach him everything. He himself will pick it up, he or she, and then they'll start growing. Right? So these are some of the primary attributes or characteristics that employers look out inside you when you go and join or when you go and even apply for a particular job role. Great. So before our doubts, I would like to just go and summarize. So to give you a clear picture, cybersecurity is not just an IT issue, it's everyone's business. Everybody is involved with cybersecurity. It's not only that, hey, cybersecurity, I don't know that. My IT team will handle it, or the IT administrator will know it. I don't have to know about it. No, you can't say that. It's everybody who is involved. If I do not know whether the PDF contains a virus or not, if I do not know how to download that PDF safely and run it, that's it. One small mistake I can do as an employee that will hinder the progress of my company. So that can bring damage to my company. Right. So that's one. Number two, AI is both a threat and a defense tool. AI can also be used for offensive purpose and also defensive purpose. Third, but not the most important, yes, this is also kind of important. You need to understand that after learning, you need to practice it, and then you again learn more, which is upskilling, practice it. So learning and applying will take you to a level higher than how you are currently progressing. Okay? The progress rate will be higher when you learn and apply it. Okay? Because cybersecurity is always an evolving field. So it's very, very important that you upskill yourself and practice it repeatedly. Okay? So that's all from my side. Maybe I will go and share my screen once more for the doubts. If you have any doubts, you guys can drop it in the chat box. I will be happy to share. Let me see in the chat box. See, this is a question which needs not a small 1 minute or 2 minute. We can have an entire session on that. So Sanon has asked, in cloud computing environments, clients delegate data storage and processing to cloud service providers. Yes. What mechanisms and architectural approaches can ensure that security control remains with the client? See, it depends. Certain, let's say, for example, Amazon Web Services, as a normal consumer, as a single consumer, if I go and approach them, they will not give the entire control to me. Even as a business proportion, or if I go and contact them, depending upon the scale of the business, they try to enter into an agreement on how much of control should be there with you and how much of control should be there with me. So that negotiation takes place later on. But for any single individual or a consumer, never expect that. Only they will be having all the security controls. Sanya says, contact me. I would like to discuss internship program with recommended students from you. Great. I work at computer center in Zambia. Okay, great. Anyone looking for cybersecurity internship, please write to me on Vivek at cctz.co.tz. Okay. Jamie says thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Okay. Samvali says AI powered phishing. Simple. So you use AI to do phishing. That's it. How is it done? You extract the patterns using AI and you try to use AI to create the proper, perfect template. That's all. Right? Aruna says thanks. James says thanks. Aditya says thanks, Dr. Rakesh. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Salo says thanks. Just to find out, will those certificates set us up for jobs or is it just to gain skill? Which certificates are you talking about? I am not sure which certificate you're talking about. Ivan says thank you for the lesson. I'm from Uganda. Great. Glenn, Michael, Tibogo. Everybody says thank you. Thank you. Okay. So I hope this webinar would have given or shown you a small light on what is currently happening and what is currently needed in the job market and how you can equip yourself. So, in case we meet in the future, please do understand that, okay, we have already been in part of some conversation, and please remind me so that I get to understand, hey, yeah, we did have a meeting before. So, I'd be happy to welcome those kind of people into my lessons. Great. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. So, bye bye.